What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. I hope y'all had a great turkey day. I know I did. I got to get off the truck for a couple of days. Spent some time with the family. Did a little duck hunting this morning. Not too successful. I think we seen one duck that was within range, and we were running our mouths. Didn't have our guns in our hand, all standing up, and it flared, and that was pretty much the extent of our morning. But anyway, I had some questions from some viewers about the Troops Transportation Program and financing and options as far as paying for it. And we're going to dig into that. But first, this video here is sponsored by Trucker Path. Trucker Path is a multifaceted truck application. The icon looks like this right here. It's available for iPad, or iOS and Android. I'm pretty sure it's available for Google as well. But some of the features of Trucker Path is digital mapping with live updated traffic and parking information, along with other services such as load boards, job boards, locations of key points of interest such as road service, truck washes, tire shops, hotels, restaurants, and it also has live updated navigation information if you pay for navigation service. Now, with their navigation service, it is turn-by-turn navigation. It is truck friendly, so you're not going to get sent over some bridge that's too small or down some road that you're not supposed to be on. And the price of it is a lot cheaper than buying a brand new GPS. A brand new Garmin or Rand McNally will run you anywhere from $200 to $500. The basic navigation program for this, $10 a month. So if you're first getting into the truck, you don't know if trucking's for you, this is a smart financial decision. If you're just barely getting in the truck and you ain't got the money to buy a brand new GPS, once again, a smart financial decision. I've been in the truck for 6 months. I do not have a GPS on my dash. However, I do have gold status of Trucker Path on both my phone and my iPad, which I use daily. All right, hey, thanks for sticking with me through that. I know not everybody wants to watch advertisements, but promoting this program helps me do things with this channel, and it's actually a useful tool. I use it every day. That's why I promote it. That's how they reached out to me and asked if I would continue to promote it. But I just found it on my own, and it beat the hell out of paying for a GPS. All right, so anyway, had some questions. I'm going to pull them up here in a second. Let me throw a pinch in my mouth. First question was, hey, I'm a Sergeant First Class, 88 Mike. I got 3 years to go. Used to be at HUD. Cool. What if you've used your GI Bill? Could you still go through Troops Transportation? So I reached out directly to Troops Transportation and asked them this question. I know they have other ways of paying. They said they were going to get back to me, but they didn't. But what I did look into. So there's a few different options. First of all, you have to. It's the question remains is, did you sign your GI Bill over to your kids, or did you use your GI Bill yourself? If you used your GI Bill yourself, then basically your options are student loan, or see if they have a financing option, or find a company that has a truck driving school through their program. Now, if you go to a truck driving school through a trucking company, you're going to be limited on options. One, you're going to be tied to a contract. Two, you're not going to be eligible for tuition reimbursement. So that's something to consider. Now, if you signed your GI Bill over to your kids, you got a couple things to consider. This guy's Sergeant First Class. That's what I was when I got out. 20 years in the Army, your body takes a beating. So, what's the possibility of you getting 100% from the VA? If your medical record looked like this, pretty good. If your medical record looks like this, not so good. So, if you signed your GI Bill over to your kids, it only takes 4 months of your GI Bill if you have a skills waiver, 5 months without a skills waiver. So if you're an 88 Mike or a mechanic with a tractor trailer license, 92 Fox, you can get a skills waiver and it only takes 4 months of your GI Bill. 4 months of your GI Bill is a small price to pay for basically the financial opportunity, which we'll get into here in a second, that this will provide you. So my advice to somebody and it also depends on the age of the kids, if you signed your GI Bill over to your kids, pull back 4 months from your youngest kid. You will make enough money to where you can roll it all into a 529 account and make that money back if you have the financial discipline to ensure that you make those deposits. Now, if you come back from the VA with 100%, you get what's called Chapter 35 education benefits. What that is, it's basically another 36 months for your kids just because you're 100% disabled. So, things to consider when doing or making these decisions. All right, another question was, hey, I'm trying to start troops transportation. I'm at Fort Sill. Do you have to pay for anything out of pocket? And do they help with any lodging? Because I'm sure I have to drive to Fort Hood. So a lot of the guys that are up Fort Sill and a few other bases, they'll move to a central hub to do the troops transportation program. They should reimburse you for your travel. They will provide you with lodging. Now, all of this is coming out of your GI Bill. Also covered in your GI Bill, they're paying for your DOT physical, your permit test, and your licensing test, and all of your endorsements. So, all of your expenses should be covered. Now, I didn't stay at a hotel, but I know there was guys in my class that came, a couple came up from Houston that were veterans, a couple came down from Fort Sill, and they covered their hotel costs. So, with that being said, a couple other things I wanted to touch on. Now, if you do have your GI Bill, a lot of companies have tuition reimbursement. So, the money that you used out of your GI Bill, they're going to pay you back. Now, they're going to pay you back a little bit at a time because they want to keep you working as long as possible. So, you're going to get like $250 a month, maybe $500 a month. It depends. But all that GI Bill money you spent is going back to your pocket if you sign up with one of those companies. Another thing, if you're using your GI Bill, a lot of these companies have apprenticeships. So basically what you can do is, especially for you lower enlisted guys that are getting out, when you go to one of these companies, they use your GI Bill and you draw your BAH for the first 2 years you're on the truck. And that's BAH at an E5 with the dependence level, generally from the zip code that your company's based out of. So, once again, more money in your pocket. See, I took notes. Alright. Alright, we talked a little bit about skills waivers. Alright, so now let's get into the nitty-gritty. This is 4 guys that I know personally that went through this program, and what they are making. So we're going to start with the young guys. You junior enlisted, might not get much for disability just because, you ain't been in long enough to be completely broke. If you get disability, it's a plus, but you never know. All right, so PCSD 4, no family, lived in the barracks. His base pay while in was $2,634 a month. Right now, driving a truck, he's getting a BAH payment of $11.67. He's getting paid 47 cents a mile, averaging 2,500 miles a week, plus $500 a month tuition reimbursement. So, he is making $6,367 a month on average. So basically a 150% increase. And that's just a guy who decided, oh, 3 and done, I'm gone. All right, now we got a med-boarded E5. He was doing $4,668 a month when he got out. Had like 12 years in. He got 80% disability from the VA. So that's $1,795. He's driving a dump truck locally here in Texas. And he gets a base pay rate for driving a dump truck of $18 an hour. But because he's running local, he's not governed by the same hours of service that a regular truck driver is. So he's driving 14 hours a day. So he's doing about 40 hours a week at $18 an hour. And he's doing another 30 hours a week of overtime. So just his salary pay is... I screwed up the math on this. Oh yeah, hold on, that's right. So just his salary pay, doing $720 per week, plus his overtime, doing another $810 per week, plus his disability, $1,795, works to a total of about $7,915 per month. So he is essentially making 190% of what he was making while he was in the Army. Alright. Sorry. I know, I gotta put a dip in every time. A little bit distracting, but it is what it is. Alright, so we got a retired Sergeant First Class. Pay and entitlements, this guy was married. Pay and entitlements before he got out and before taxes, $6,815 a month. Took the redux. So basically, he sold 10% of his retirement for $30,000. If he did it while he's downrange and invested it, smart move. If he didn't, then the guy's an idiot. But that's neither here nor there. All right, so his retirement with the redux, $1,125 a month take home. I'm assuming he's got taxes and allotments and whatever. VA, he got 100%. So that's $3,600 a month. Must have a couple of kids. And his monthly truck pay is $5,784 a month. For a grand total of $10,509 a month. He is just short of $11,000 a month. That's $125,000 a year. That's good money. Driving a truck. All right, last but not least, med-boarded E8. Guy is a first sergeant. Got med-boarded with 18 years in the Army. So before he got med-boarded, he was pulling $7,343 with his base pay, BAS, BH. From the VA, 100%, no kids, he's pulling $3,400 a month. He's driving a truck that pays percentage. And he averages about $1,200 a week take home. Plus, he's using his GI Bill and getting BH for $1,167 a month. He's doing $9,367 roughly a month. So, another guy making 10 grand a month with his pay and entitlements driving a truck. So, you got to ask yourself, can I make that money back for the GI Bill if I take 3 months from one of my kids? Now, if your kids are currently in school, it's a harder decision. If your kids are 9 or 10 and you got 10 years to figure it out or 8 years to figure it out, I would do it in a heartbeat. I did. I pulled 4 months from my youngest child, and now my child has 3 years from the VA, because I got that 100, plus the remaining 8 months. So my kid's going to get a 4-year degree, and it's not going to cost me a dime. So, some things to think about. Like I said, if you got any more questions, hit me up. If it is questions like this, I will try my best to make a video to address it, especially when it comes to the dollars. Because that's why would you jump in a truck? You got to make money. Nobody wants to go drive a truck and make less money than they were making in the Army. That just doesn't make no sense. So, think about it. And
in my old job, we used to have to carry a heavy rucksack. And if you hadn't had on a rucksack in a while, and you put it on for the first time, it's a little bit of a shock to the system. It sucks. How you like that? And you might sit around and think about how much it's gonna suck going on this long patrol with a rucksack on. And you might let that build up on your brain a little bit about how much it's gonna suck. But I have a trick. I figured out a trick over time of how to overcome that. How to get through it. What you do is you put your ruck on and you start walking. That's right. It's gonna suck. Doesn't matter. Go get some. It's Monday. Have a good one, y'all. Out.
All right, well, I hope I don't get canceled for stealing that clip, but it motivated the shit out of me. Anyway, you got any more questions, hit me up. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. And I'll catch y'all later. Attack life. Never apologize.